Are we? That'd be pretty awesome. Oh yeah, we're totally live. Bob has no audio.
Now I should have audio. Yeah.
Bob has no audio.
Okay. I think we can start. All right. Yeah. Hi everyone. So there's quite some people watching. Yeah. Welcome to the designer talk of Project Exhibited. I'm Bob Verhoef. I'm the design lead, and I was level designer at this team. And underneath me is
Underneath you. Figuratively
like.
and literally. Hey, I'm Ronnie. I was the level design supervisor on the project, and yeah, I was basically responsible of making sure that everything comes together consistently and that the work of everybody ends up on the level.
Yes, every time I was insecure if people didn't push their work, I would send Ronnie.
Yeah, I am the hammer. Bob is the
Yes.
scalpel.
All right. So this is going to be like a quite a casual talk. We don't go like super in depth. We basically take you through the design journey, so to speak, and it's kind of a general look at things. If there are any questions, put them in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them. Thank you, Eon Dentist. Love the game, he said. Awesome. All right, let's start. If the presentation works. Yay, it works. All right, let's first just start off with the new trailer that we have, fresh from the press. Let's. I don't know if there's audio, but it will also be available on the Steam page.
Whatever happened to that thief? Last I heard, he was sleeping with fishes. Who knows? Going back to my position before the boss notices I'm gone. We'll look out in the garden. What? Who's that? Stay right there.
Cool. Awesome. So yeah, Project Exhibited. It's a game where you play as Dana, the inventor thief, and you're tasked to steal an artifact in Palazzo in Malta. And the game is taking place in the 60s. It's out now on Steam, so try it if you didn't. And now we're going to talk about the design. All right. So every design starts with a project brief. And our project brief had these aspects in it. So it had to be single player. It was supposed to be non-linear level design, which basically means there need to be multiple paths available for the player to choose between. And we had to have an emphasis on reuse and player agency. Of course, the theme, robbery, burglary, and heist. Then we had that we needed to sell loot, buy upgrades and gadgets. It couldn't be a cover shooter. That was a specific goal that we got from our stakeholders. And it had to be fully first person, stealth game, realistic art style, 1960s Mediterranean, and sophisticated AI, whatever that means. But we did our best to interpret these points. yeah, and we're going to show how we try to, as closely as possible, hit these this brief that we got from the stakeholders, which in our case are the
Bob,
teachers.
Bob, by the way, before you go to the next slide, I want to ask you, why did you choose this project brief in the first place? Like, what appealed to you? Because for people that don't know, we had like a stack of briefs, like 10 or so, and we could decide which brief we wanted to go for.
Oh yeah, that's actually a pretty good question. So I already had some adventure games on my portfolio, and stealth just seemed like an interesting, different take on things, because adventure games are usually kind of lighthearted, and stealth seemed like a nice, different approach to that. What I already had to have a little bit more variety in my portfolio, and I thought it was a nice design challenge, because stealth has a lot of design heavy aspect, and on top of that, it's very level design heavy, and I really love level design, so I saw challenges there. And yeah, what made you choose the stealth?
I mean, I think you pretty much brought it to the point, right? For me, it was also a personal incentive, since I really like games, stealth immersive sims like Dishonored. It's one of my favorite games, hands down. So that, and then as well as the non-linear level design, was a super nice challenge. I didn't have those kinds of level design challenges on my portfolio yet, or just couldn't engage with them in general. So that was super, super awesome. I was super hyped for that, and that was, from all the briefs we got, that was my highest by far.
Nice.
So yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, and what a challenge it turned out to be. So
Oh yeah,
from those project brief bullet points, we decided to form an original concept. That's our first block. Our first block is concepting. Then we have a pre-production block. Then we have a production block. And after that is a post-production block, which is basically about post-launch support, bug fixing, polishing. But now we're talking about like concepting. So for the people who know our game or have played our game, you see that there are some things in here that are not in the game, such as 3 missions, parkour, or a crafting system. We had a crafting system planned. That all didn't came to be because of various reasons, and we'll go deeper into that. We have a little video here of the parkour that we had planned back in the day. You see there's like a wall run here and a jump. We had a jump and you could hold onto a ledge, which might sound cool. And it is cool, but there are so many things about game design that you have to cut, or as we say, kill your babies, because you still have to deal with resources and make sure that you can hit your deadlines.
I can still remember that we put in the parkour because we wanted to give a player elevated positions where they can scout from for the level design. So they could first scout the area, and then, as you can see in the circle there, we have a reckon phase, of a recon phase, and the steal phase, and then the escape phase. So we want to give a player a vantage point where he can scout the region, and then he goes in and executes the plan that he made while being on an advantageous position. And you can still see remnants of that. We still have a climb in there. So that is like a super remnant of a parkour system, but it's really the super bare bones to enable verticality for scouting positions.
Yeah, we really decided we had to make the decision. All right, are we going to put the resources in this elaborate parkour system? But we decided to focus more on the actual stealth and crafting missions that could be polished later on, and that we didn't run into those extra issues. That's also the reason why there's not a jump in our game, for example, because jumps might sound very simple, but they add a lot of complexity to level design metrics, potential bugs. You need animations. There's all kinds of hidden cost to a jump, or to everything that sounds small but turns out to be quite big. All right, so we had the concept. What the first thing that we did was basically, all right, we have this concept, now we need to create a vision. So we created a first playable. There were some, like first we did some prototyping. So we had a simple AI guard. We had a simple like sneaking movement set. And we had some basic geometry. And we combined that into a first playable that's very, very simple. Like I only have pictures, I sadly don't have videos, but it basically, you had to walk to one point in the map, grab a vase, which was basically walking through a trigger, and the vase disappeared, and you had to walk back to the beginning. And this basically marked the start of our game loop, which we from this moment on had to refine and had to expand in order to make this game interesting. So this gave us a lot of direction, and basically also set up our team workflow, which I'll go into in detail. I don't know if you want to add anything to this, Ronnie.
No, I think you brought it to the point. It's the first baby, right?
Yes, it's the first baby that we didn't kill, but we nurtured and made sure to expand and make fun.
It makes fun, yeah.
Yes. All right, so we had that basic game loop. Now we needed to add some flavor. So first, you're gonna add. You can see like game design or game development is like this bonsai tree that expands and keeps growing, and eventually you have to cut away. But this was like the growing phase. So we had a security system that you can see. Like you had to type in a code in the right tab in order to open the display case for the final objective, and you had to collect the code in the mansion. Which sounds cool, but again, like adds a lot of complexity that you had to have, that we had to cut down on. Even in the right bottom, we had a body dragging mechanic, which looks kind of funny in here. The guard also had the wrong texture, but basically, because you as a player you want to have control over. There you go, flying guard. You throw his body. But basically, you want to make sure that other guards don't detect the bodies of their colleagues. But people started putting the guards' bodies into walls, and it just caused a lot of issues. And we sadly had to cut this feature. But yeah, it's a constant game between measuring scope against your deadlines, and yeah, that's basically it. All right.
Yep.
Then a cool aspect of our game, of course, like a core gameplay aspect of our game, are the 3 gadgets that we have: the shock glove, the goggles, and the noisemaker. So our first idea was to have a mission for each of these gadgets, but that turned out to be again quite an overscope. So first we thought, all right, we're gonna form the first mission around the shock glove and only shock glove stuff, and then later on we decided to I know what was the main thing again that made us like. Yeah, I think it was just basically scope. It was the end of Block C. We had 1 mission, and we still thought, all right, maybe we can do 2 missions. But then we just decided, all right, let's put them as sub-objectives into one mission.
First we had 3 missions, right? And in each you and first you would collect the money, and from the money you would buy gadgets after each mission, right?
Yes.
Then we downscope that because we didn't want to have a shop anymore, to just you unlock a gadget after each mission. Then we noticed we can't make 3 missions, so we decided to make 3 missions in all the same map. We couldn't do that anymore, so we decided to make 2 missions in the same map. Couldn't do that anymore, so we decided to make 1 mission with a content of 2 missions, and the gadgets are unlocked as side objectives.
Everything packed into one big mission.
Exactly.
So as you can see here in the left bottom video, that's from the first pass of the goggles, also had like a little crafting system where it says bindings, gas, and smoke, which basically was for the noisemaker. That you could collect items that laid around the level and combine that with your noisemaker. So there was like a sleeping gas, so it didn't only distract guards, but it also took them out. You could take out like a group of guards. But again, that just like turned out to be too complicated, and we had to like get back in line basically. And I have another here from the vertical slice. For those who don't know what a vertical slice is, it's basically early on in development. It's a small piece of your game that you try to polish as if it was the final game. So your stakeholders get to see, like, all right, this is what we can expect the final game to kind of look like. Now, we didn't really get that deadline because we still had like a lot of designer textures, as you can see. But there you can see the goggles in a later stage that they also detect cards. Yeah, that was interesting. So with with all these like mechanics and gadgets, we of course we need to have AI that reacted to all of this. So that went through a lot of iterations, and we have 2 amazing AI programmers, Niels and Stefano. Big shout out to those two because they did a lot of work, and AI is like super complicated. And Adam was there. Adam is our narrative designer and AI designer, and he did a lot of testing alongside the programmers. But yeah, they've been invaluable to this project because I think AI is a big part of the stealth experience. And
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, and you can see
Agreed.
the picture in the top with all the colors. That's basically a nav mesh, which decides where the AI can and can't go, and it has different colored areas, and you see like lines, which is their patrols, and each
And they have
color.
different patrols if you have stolen the final objective or not. They enter alert state, or if a player was recently seen or not. So a lot of things going on there.
Absolutely. Even there's some guards that spawn after you grab the final objective to make the experience a little bit harder for the player to escape. Especially now that we put the extra gadgets in, because more gadgets in the simplest way basically makes it easier for the player. So we had to ramp up difficulty. And one of the ways we did that was by adding more guards walking around the area and having them alternate between patrol paths. One of the bigger decisions we made for the AI was where they can and where they can't go, which was a kind of a difficult decision. Like, do we have absolute safe points for the player? So that means, are there areas where the AI under no circumstances can go, like the player is always safe there? Or do we have that the guards can follow the player anywhere if he gets spotted? So that was a decision we had to make. And we basically decided, I don't know when, and I don't remember exactly at what point in the project, but eventually we decided that the guards should be able to follow the player anywhere. So we had to take that into account with the level design, of course, and the AI programmers had to take that into account, that we had to set up nav links. And the player could, for example, crouch under tables or in vents, but the guards, having no crouching animation, no crouching logic, had to, of course, be able to crouch, but we didn't have a crouch animation, as I said. So that looked like this, which was one of the most scary things in the game, is that in order to follow the player around, he just shrunk in size. And it might look funny, but the actual comical thing was that people in the team who didn't know this was now a new feature were playing the game and were hiding under the tables thinking they were safe. And then suddenly the guard just halved in size. And he just suddenly followed the player. Which
We had some playtesters burst out laughing because of this feature.
Oh, I see a question. Why was it decided to make it harder after the player gets the objective? I don't know. Like, maybe I kind of already answered your question, but because we decided to add more gadgets as sub-objectives, it basically gives the player more means to sneak around. And if we would keep the difficulty level the same, but the gadgets ramp up and make the play experience easier. It basically, the further you get in the playtime, the easier it gets, which is not a good player flow, if that makes sense. Maybe you can add.
Yeah, the difficulty constantly needs to increase with a player skill. The longer the player plays the game, the better he gets, and then the difficulty needs to ramp up as well. So we decided to, have a final alarm trigger, and yeah, that's what it came down to.
Yeah. All right. So another big feature of our game has been the score system, which is kind of an interesting feature because we didn't initially plan for a score system. If you remember correctly from the first slide from the project brief, there was sell loot and buy loot and upgrading. Well, none of that is in the game. But because we just simply couldn't do it. We had a shop system planned, and there was some initial prototyping on that in Block A, I believe, and in Block B. But eventually we decided, no, we just simply cannot make it. We want to focus on other stuff and make sure we can make a working product that is fun with the stuff that we have, rather than adding another system to the whole. in order to basically keep scope in mind. So the shop idea morphed into this score system to keep player retention, which is returning players and replay value. Keep that in mind. So here's the first iteration of that system from our vertical slice, where you can see player like the debug text above the guards. How long did we have that debug text above the guards? I think up until like
way too long. Way too long.
Yeah. But yeah, it showed as you can see, like just a couple of variables: money collected times detected. And we saw this works, but it needs a little bit more variables to be absolutely super interesting to the player, that he can absolutely compare, and have a more specific playstyle. So we opened up more variables to be shown in the score screen. This is from the closed release, or just before the closed release, the score screen, that it also takes into account the loot collected, the total completion, and cameras disabled, and bodies discovered. And it also added a playstyle. So you could be a ghost, you could be murders, you could be a speedrunner. And you get a playstyle bonus. So if you shocked a lot of guards, you would be marked as aggressive. If you didn't shock any guards, you would be a pacifist. And each of those playstyle bonuses would give a score based on those bonuses, which turned out actually quite positive, because from this, a speedrunner community emerged, which was pretty interesting. And here you see from the final score screen, a screenshot from a speedrunner that completed the game in 100 seconds, exactly 100 seconds, which means he unlocked the hard achievement of completing the game under 100 seconds, which is quite difficult.
It says mission 1 there, even though we only have one mission, right?
Yeah, okay. we might need to change it.
Oh, is it still there? I thought we patched it up by now.
Yeah, it's probably patched. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, it basically began as a shop idea system and morphed into a score system to still have player retention, which was a big part of our game. So we didn't have to do upgrading or buying loot or selling loot. Another interesting thing about the game, which I think is quite an original aspect, is the Polaroids in a mission briefing, because we use it for multiple goals. Basically, our main constraint was we didn't want an objective marker for the main objective. So that gave us the constraint that we had to make an environment that either spoke for itself or was linear, but we couldn't make a linear environment because of our project brief. So we had to guide the player in some other way. So I don't remember who came up with the idea of using pictures for as a guide.
Probably our narrative designer, Ertam.
Probably. Yeah, I believe he came up with the idea. He also strived and basically said this is probably the way we should use them to guide the player. But basically, with these Polaroids and with the mission brief in the main menu, it doesn't only guide the player to that main objective, so we don't need an objective marker, but it also gives us the opportunity to create narrative, because narrative usually, especially in these kind of projects, don't get the highest priority, because you want to put down your player experience, your play style, your movement, your level design metrics, your core systems, your art vision. Those are more important than the actual narrative and story in these kind of projects. So we needed to find ways to cheaply but effectively add narrative to the experience. And I think this was a very elegant way and resource light way to add that to the game. So left you see an early version of the Polaroids, even with some designer textures in the Polaroids, and then to the right you see the final mission briefing that's in the game right now. That also says what your previous score was, so it's also again a cheap way of adding replay value to the game. And yeah, I think we did a pretty good job on that, and it's a really nice way of keeping player attention into account and conveying narrative.
Before I go on, there's another question in chat that I just saw from VoidJump ZA. But it's asking, isn't that just a hard increase from easy to suddenly hard? I think he's talking about the objective. So we said that we have the alarm once the player picks up the objective. And doesn't that mean that the entire game before that is easy and then it becomes hard, right? I think I can comment on that since basically the player starts in the back garden. And he just at the first he just has one linear way to go. So we can control that environment is basically very easy. And then as soon as the player actually enters the mansion, then the paths open up. We will later on have a playthrough when we can show that at that point we can show it better, I think. But basically we always know that the player will, from that starting point that the player enters the villa to the final vase, we know that the player will traverse that route. So we can ramp up the difficulty over that time span gradually. And once a player has a vase, we know he needs to go to the exit points. From the vase of a final objective to the exit points, we can again ramp up the difficulty gradually. And this is basically how we designed it.
Yeah, I think that I hope that answers your question. Otherwise, we're happy to answer another one.
Exactly.
So I've talked a couple of times now about the vertical slice. So the vertical slice helped us in and helped the stakeholders see, all right, this is what you're going for. So that was all good and positive aspects, but we had some aspects of the vertical slice that helped us reflect and see, all right, these are the things we need to improve on. These are the things that we're not doing so well. And for the sharp eye, you see that the courtyard compared to our reference right here is like, it's massive. That was one of that's the simplest way to put it. Like we had like this idea of this palazzo was quite early on. Like we had some discussions where our game would take place, and like would it be a museum or would it be in like a public street, and we ended up on like this palazzo idea. But we had no idea as level designers like what the actual architecture of that space was and how we could fit that architecture and that space into a game space that worked with the gameplay, but also worked with the art style and the reference. And yeah, eventually we found a middle way to have that work the architecture into the play spaces. So the lesson we learned from this is look at your reference more. Look at your reference and see, not only like from a gameplay point of view, but also from an artistic and an architectural point of view, how far can we go in order for the space to still make sense. And these guys, these happy guys, you see them on the left and on the top right, these happy faces, they helped us out a lot by actually going to Malta and taking a lot of reference pictures that we otherwise wouldn't have gotten from Google Images. So there's like huge thanks and shout out to these guys who went to all these different palazzos on Malta during the project to collect reference for us. And it was
absolutely, it was invaluable material. Absolutely.
And it was worth the risk, because I believe they got some warnings because they didn't properly communicate that they were going to Malta. So that was actually quite funny. Like, where are they? Block B started, and it's like, where are our environment artists, and where's Hussein, our level designer? And we found out, yeah, guys, we're in Malta. We're taking reference pictures. Oh, okay. But
a new question is popping where that is asking, were these people on Malta part of your team or outsourced? I think you just answered that, but they were 100% part of our team, right?
Yeah.
Basically, all of a sudden gone. And after a week, they came back with amazing materials, so we weren't mad for that long.
Yeah, so yeah, you can see like they went to different places and took some really amazing pictures. Maybe you can see like the reference at some point. The picture in the middle, in the bottom middle, that's the reference we mainly use for the exterior, for the walls, and all the other. That's what's the name again? Palazzo Bologna.
Falson.
No, Falson is
Falson, Bologna.
Yeah, Falson was the interior, and I think Bologna was the exterior. That's with the blue.
Yeah,
windows.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So yeah, a huge shout out to these guys for collecting amazing reference for both artists and designers to work from. Because yes, as we learned, designers also need to look at their reference.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think this ties in very well to your topic.
I have a modular system.
Yes.
So yeah, we created a modular system to create the villa super fast and to have consistency for all level designers, so that they all use exactly the same metrics, so that the hallway has the same width and things like that. Yeah, so as you could see, the palazzo was way too big, so we decided to completely rebuild it from scratch halfway throughout the project. But we were super fast doing that thanks to the building blocks. On the bottom left, you can basically see them. So there are sometimes walls, windows, stairs and hand railings, table you can hide under, vent systems and stuff like that. At the top, you can see how the artist then took that and made art assets out of that. And in the bottom, Bob, if you play the video, you will see that actually, if you have a super sharp eye, you will notice that throughout our entire villa, there are only perpendicular corners, or almost only perpendicular corners. It was because it was too much work to make modular building blocks, work for non-90-degree corners.
Yeah.
So we were like, yeah, it's too much work. We are already halfway through the project. Let's just only make perpendicular corners and call it a day. And it worked.
No diagonal corners, no diagonal lines, all perpendicular.
No diagonal. Absolutely.
But it has some amazing results, as you can see here. This is the exhibition. Yeah, this is the exhibition room.
Yeah, this is one of the exhibition rooms. So you can see how it basically transitions from the building blocks into the art assets from the environment artists. At the beginning, you will be able to see that it uses color coding. So red was, for example, you can vault over it. Green was you can climb on it. Blue was for cover. And white was for floors, for example. While orange was for walls and things like that, right? So yeah, let's look at the next one.
This is the front garden, I believe. This is you were responsible for this area.
Oh yeah, this is also front garden. I think it's a cool image because because you can see how the villa facade actually changes. Because we got the feedback that it looks too much like a Mexican prison
from the art teachers.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, from the art teachers. So then afterwards we included like the hand railings and the balcony and things like that. I also really like how you can see how all of a sudden the hedge maze plops up out of just blue blocks. So that's basically the transition from design to art.
Yeah, our foliage has been something we struggled with for a long time. Because
long time.
Yeah, because it had too many draw calls and caused a lot of performance issues. But eventually, our amazing art team got on top of it. Also, people wondering what the interesting structure to the right is of the facade that was a placeholder for our scaffolding, which we'll come back to later. Why there was a placeholder. So this is also part of the front garden, but this one went through a pretty huge change. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit on that.
Oh yeah, that was so that is the greenhouse or the garden house now in the game. So at first I really wasn't sure what to do with this area. Should just be a traversal area, but I want to have some challenge in there, right? So at first it was completely flat. Then I put it down a little bit to give the player an advantageous scouting position. But then an environment artist approached me and told me, hey, I looked at the reference picture and there's a greenhouse that if we put it on there, it would fit perfectly. And I looked at it and it was like, wow, that is amazing. And we basically came together and worked on it the entire week and made it happen. And that was just amazing. That's when design and environment art really clicks. And yeah, that happened.
Yeah, and it was really for the better of the project, I think. It's a really cool area.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah.
Eventually, on player feedback, we also opened up a roof that can actually walk on the glass. For a long time, you couldn't. But players said it would be super cool if we could do that. So eventually, we implemented.
We listened to our player base. So this is an interesting one. I was responsible for this. This is the roof. And yeah, that was instead of like a nice collaboration between environment art and design, this has been a battle sometimes between environment art and design. Because I don't know, like 4 times in the project or 3 times in the project, it almost got cut. and we had to really like fight for it. Like, no, we keep it. No, it's too much work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we said we can like reuse all the assets that we already have for it. We just need like a few chairs and tables. But environment artists were also worried because you could see so far in the distance. Yeah, a lot of struggling, but eventually it happened, and I think it's the level is for the better because of it.
Absolutely. And the funny thing about it is like for like 80% of these pictures, it's all just me, and then we finally got an environment artist on it, and you see like the visual quality just like skyrocket. So another lesson from this: don't let your designer do the art. At least for my case, probably. But I'm so glad we could make this happen, and it's an actual pretty interesting area because it's much more open than the more claustrophobic spaces that are from the interior.
Yeah, absolutely. You can also see throughout the entire level, so that's a nice scenic shots on the environment art. So yeah, and no, go ahead. We can talk about the nice scaffolding tool.
Yes.
That was the right.
Thanks to the tech art team, by the way, they did an amazing job.
Absolutely, like whatever we say right now is it's not on the tech artist. It has other unforeseen problems, but the tech art team was amazing, and they always try to help us out the best way possible. So for people who don't know, tech art is basically making tools for the teams to work more efficiently and to work better, right? So for us, for example, they made this scaffolding tool, so we can place scaffolding throughout the entire villa. But the problem was that in order to place the scaffoldings, you needed a license in the tech art tool, which was Houdini, and you could only activate the license on campus grounds. But because of the coronavirus, we need to work from home. So all of a sudden, we couldn't use the license anymore. So our tech art, or the tech art responsible person, she basically took 2 months to circumvent the license and still make it happen that we can work with it. And just on the week she finished, the school gave us a VPN service to go into the school network to be able to use the software again. It was so weird. It was a real ride with scaffolding.
And she put so much time in making it possible with blueprints, and then eventually that was not needed anymore. Sad.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And then eventually, no, wait, we can use Houdini again. Never mind. Your work was for naught. So maybe a little bit of more boring slide, but still interesting for people who are more interested in like actual how do we gather data. So we had an amazing programmer, Yona, who was mostly responsible for this. He made a heat map tool that we as level designers could use. It showed where the players were going, how long they were at a certain spot, where they got shocked, or where they used their shock, where they died, where they like it showed all kinds of information that for mainly level designers showed the problem areas in the game. So, for example, one of the problems that we saw in my area on the roof that we saw earlier, I picked 100 playtests or 100 playthroughs, and only 6 of those 100 players went to the roof, which showed like, I mean, I didn't want it to be a 50-50 thing, but this was way below what we wanted from what was expected. So we had to do a couple of changes in the way we do our composition in certain areas to guide the player's eye to make sure that he goes left or right, or it's more clear that it's a decision point. So it has been really, really helpful with these tools to basically point out these problems and see where the problem areas were. And alongside that, we use data sheets, so Excel sheets that also showed these kind of pieces of information that helped us iterate as designers. And of course, we had bug reports and our lovely community that gives us feedback.
Yeah, the community was so helpful.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the community members, he reported a game-breaking bug like minutes before launch, right? That we still managed to fix because of him. He now has the title hero, right?
Yeah, certified hero. He's a certified hero in a community Discord.
He really is.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, buddy playtest for those who are wondering what that is. So basically, a playtest is when you test the game, or you have blind play tests, buddy play tests, public play tests. A buddy play test basically entails that you are sitting together with one other person. That person shares their screen and maybe puts on their webcam so you can see their reactions on the face. And we as designers should basically say either test this specific part or just play through the game, and we take notes. It can be quite awkward, I think, for the player that basically we are just looking over their shoulder, like, where are you going now? But we're silent, so it's like the silent watcher. So looking at how you play the game. But those are really, really helpful because you can get to have like direct feedback, verbal feedback from the player base, which is awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
And then, of course, bugs. We had a lot of bugs. I put Peter Parker in the right bottom because, I mean, it's funny to see your game break and they can have comical results, but it's also kind of sad because your game is breaking. Yeah, the guard on the left is going back to his people. He's like, I've enough of this.
I still don't know what happened there. It was super weird.
he just decides to leave. And of course, like most bugs, because again the AI was so complicated, like most of these bugs were like AI focused because it's just such a complicated system. Sad but kind of happy and funny. All right, yeah, thanks for listening. So keep the questions coming if you have any, and I think we're gonna play the game now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just play the game and commentate a little bit.
Yeah, let's see. This is the first time I'm streaming, so let's see if I do this the correct way. Did it work? Do we now show up as gamer mode? Let's see if that.
Oh, absolutely! Hell
yes,
yeah!
It's working. Yes. All right, let's try the game. All right, I turned off the sound just for this moment, but now I can turn it back up again. Oh boy. All right, so I play quite some stealth games, but don't expect some pro gameplay. Like, I'm not like super good, but I'll do my best. All right. So you can see my last score was 2100. There's this one guy in our score leaderboard that has 500,000 points, and I still don't know how he did that. So we have to dig a little deeper because it's absolutely impossible, that score. Anyway, nice loading screen, always good. So this intro sequence has been done by Sam, one of our tech designers, and Anne, one of our animators, and they made sure that it basically this works together with the Polaroids, as in to give an idea of the space, an idea of the villa, idea of the levels, and how it's laid out.
This palazzo is massive.
Oh, look! Listen to the voice acting.
I have these Polaroids to guide me to the objective.
That was needed to make the player know that he had Polaroids to look at. All right. Let's see how hard I'm gonna fail. I am gonna try and collect all the gadgets. Ronnie, can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
awesome. Just checking.
HQ told they would send over some extra gadgets.
Extra gadgets,
I should
wow.
probably check the marked drop areas.
So,
On tap mission briefing. Hell yeah!
hell yeah. So, I'm gonna go for a full gadget run. I'm gonna collect all the gadgets.
That should be a speedrunner category.
Who do you think is the most iconic duo? You got us, the AI boys, or the UI gang? Ooh. Oh boy, that's a tough question. Maybe you can answer that, Ronnie.
No, it's definitely us. I ship us 100%.
Oh, I'd ship us too.
Since,
Hell
like,
yeah.
since the beginning of the year.
Nice side loop. Let me grab that. That.
One of the commentators says get a Master Thief achievement. That was
Oh boy.
collect all the gadgets. Don't use any gadgets.
Don't know
Don't get
about that.
spotted.
Don't know about that. That whistle that you just heard, we had so many issues with that whistle because that whistle sound file was like how many, like 1.5 minutes long, and it got stuck in my head. That whistle was like I was preparing dinner one night, and the whistle song just popped up in my head, and I went to sleep with this. It didn't end well.
Oh my god, yeah, whistle. It was really long. It wasn't like over a minute.
And it was used
Oh my
3
God.
times or something.
Sleep tight.
Sleep tight.
Yes.
So this was a really nice touch from our UI team. You have like the stars around his head to notify that he's knocked out, but these stars disappear over time to also show how long he would be still knocked out. So that's a really nice detail. I'm really glad we have something like that. Gives a little bit more information to the player. Let's see here. Right, there's a camera there. So another interesting thing is that we see in our player base is that the ways people approach certain problems. I'm actually more of a player that just rushes past everything, but you have players that very meticulously disable all the cameras and make sure that they can safely walk past all the guards. So I'm gonna try that for a change. Normally I just rush through. So I'm a bit of an aggressive player, right? Right.
Yeah, but it also kind of comes with playing the game so much. At some point, you just start speed running, right?
Yeah.
And we played through this part like over 100 times easy. So yeah, we know it by heart. We know exactly what to do to circumvent the guards and things like that. So there's no reason to take it slow anymore.
For some reason, I don't know if it's my computer, but the hand animation doesn't get rendered or something like that when I shock the power box.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's perfect.
It's perfect. Don't point it out. Don't do QA during a presentation, you mad lad.
What was that?
Oh boy.
Oh my god, if you get captured in the tutorial area.
Oh. Oh.
Developers play.
Developers play. And you just said we played it for 100 times. What a noob.
We know exactly what to do.
This can be used as a
Thank God I am not playing. Wouldn't want to embarrass myself here, right?
Oh boy. So one nice detail that Hussein, who was responsible for this area, put in this area here, is that once you've already done this, you can hop over this fence and skip that walking area. So that's just a nice little detail. You shock this dude over here. Goodbye. You can do a little dance, waiting till your shock glove recharges. So the 1960s, electricity was a lot harder back then. That's why it takes a long time to recharge. Is there a guard there? No, he's still up there. Maybe I should sneak. That would be a good idea, probably. Oh, I forgot to disable this camera. I remember this piece of the game being super dark. Like you couldn't see an inch in front of your face.
The lighting artist had some struggles here.
Yeah. It's also one of
He
the
managed.
reasons. That's also one of the reasons why we went for a dusk scene instead of a night scene. It was like very difficult to get a night scene to light properly. Oh, it's right there. Maybe I should sneak here this time.
Yeah, take it slow.
Take it slow. Oh wait, the camera reactivated. I was like, oh, how can I be spotted now? Okay. I'm past it. I passed it, Ronnie. I made it past the tutorial. Oh no, not yet.
Not yet, not yet. I still believe you can fail.
A lot of faith.
So bored. God, I hope I win the lottery tomorrow.
Let's hope you win the lottery tomorrow now. Did you know, Ronnie? Right, do you want to share that fact of our voice acting talent? Like, that the voice actor,
The main character or the guards?
the guards, The
Oh
guard-
yeah.
They will be able to see.
Oh yeah. Fun fact: like the person that voiced the guards was also a voice actor for Jason in Heavy Rain,
Yeah, man.
in
And
the
that's a
Dutch
fact.
version.
That's a fact.
That's a heavy fact.
A heavy rain fact. Alright, shall I go through your exhibition room or through the courtyard?
Let's go through the exhibition room first, and then we go through. Then we loop around through the scaffolding to the rooftop. I would say. Oh, yeah. You can loop around how you want, either through the courtyard or through the scaffolding.
This guard usually like scares me because I never know exactly when he's about to.
No, you got this big boy.
I got him. He dead. He's always shocked. He's always shocked. Ooh, I've not seen this new model for like the vent. Like, that's cool. I really love the sound of like picking up side load. Like,
Ah, I love the sound of money.
I love the sound of grabbing something. Let's see. Camera there.
Clip that.
Clip that.
All right.
Electricity moved a lot slower back in the 1960s.
Maybe I can use that radio over there
That's
to
a fact.
distract the guard.
Ooh, this radio over here. Oh! I definitely distracted him, alright.
Distracted yourself into doom.
Yep. Oh.
What happened?
The radio
Ooh.
turned on, man.
Must have
It must have
been my imagination.
been
Shock
his,
him. Get him. Get him.
it must have been his imagination that the radio was turned on.
Must have been the wind.
He's going mad. Who was the
Go, 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 go.
Oh shit! Is there? Ooh. Who was the artist responsible again for your exhibition area? Was it Dylan?
That was Dylan. I mean, I think several people worked throughout like the entire year, but mostly Dylan.
Ooh.
So he did an amazing job, by the way. I'm very happy with how the exhibition room turned out.
End of the Cuban Missile Crisis. As of yesterday, October 28th, the world voyages back from the abyss of destruction. Cuban Missile Crisis finally comes to an end after 13 days of nuclear tension between the two world superpowers. Could the end of the Cold War follow soon as well? Well, I have to disappoint you. You have to wait until 1989.
Our narrative team.
Yeah, it's, they got the facts right, so that's good.
Fact right. Hell yeah. Okay, can you go back a little bit to that vent? I just want to tell a super mini story about that vent.
This one.
Yeah, exactly. So the vent is exactly on the crouching height, like on the unit. So there was the rug, like right behind the vent, which meant you couldn't go through the vent anymore. So we needed to move the rug, like 5 units to the right, so that the player could still go through the vent.
Oh, because the rug also has.
Yeah,
collision.
because the rug is like 2 units high or something.
Oh boy, it is a good rug. It's a good rug, I have to say. Look at that
Yeah,
detail on
it's
that
really
rug.
sweet.
That's why we used it like 5 million times for the.
Exactly, the most expensive rug.
I remember, like, because we wanted some variety, someone made it like neon green, and our environment art supervisor was like, "Carpet should not be neon green." So he saw it in one of his submits. That was really funny.
Also, Hussein, our level designer, his family sells like valuables, right? So he recommended that carpet specifically, and he was so angry, not angry, but kind of angry, you know? Yeah.
I really
Really
like that like walking on glass, of course, makes no real sense, but it helps in a gameplay way that you can actually like see. All right, the guards are right there. It helps in scouting, and I really like the
That was the
addition of
intent.
those work lights lamps. That's really I fricked up. Oh no! Oh, I'm so bad at this game. Quickly!
Oh no!
Grab that noisemaker! Grab that noisemaker!
Yeah,
Quickly,
please.
I got it!
Nice, checkpoint triggered.
Quickly, grab
What
the
an
coins.
absolute lad.
Did I lose him? Oh my god, I lost him. Yes.
He's
Alright.
so good at this game.
Pro, you know. I just look at how pretty this game has become. Like we got like throughout the year a lot of feedback from our teachers, and then, like what you said, like the Mexican prison thing.
Or that it looks like a CS:GO map from PS1 era.
Yes, but man, the game has improved so much. Looks so much better.
Yeah, I'm happy with what we made.
Yeah,
Let's pat ourselves on backs more. I like that.
I like that. It's good. Oh, why is he in alert state? Oh, I guess.
I pointed out. It's normal.
Oh no, it's a feature. It was intended. A letter. I'm writing a letter in front of his face. Nice. Yeah, you can screenshot this. About like if you grab like this is a little tip for people who don't know. If you grab a narrative collectible and you press continue too quickly, there's a collectibles menu where you can look back to collectibles that you collected, so you can reread them. Thanks to our UI team and some programmers.
Wait, do we have that many collectibles?
Yes.
Awesome.
Ooh.
You wanna? Oh, by the way, this was the area where so few people went to the rooftop, right? So you tried a lot to actually make people go to the rooftop, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So especially the problem point was at this this angle here. Like a lot of players back then, I think still like use the courtyard instead of the exhibition room entrance. So they would come up here and then go up the stairs and then turn left. And then this part would be completely dark and there's no set dressing here. So everyone, because there's a window here, there was light here, there's a door here, people would immediately go like this. They wouldn't even look to the left. They would always go here. So what I tried to do, and the lighting and environment artists helped a lot with that, was by having this door open. This door was closed before. Placing some lights. And using set dressing, so the table, the portrait, the crates, to guide the eye a little bit more towards the left. For example, a classic trick is having the tilted picture frame, because that immediately, like if you tilt it to the left, it immediately guides your eye a little bit to the left. So players see this point a lot more as a decision point. And you see there's a slight increase in people going left here. So that's a successful addition to the game, I would say. Ooh, it's dark here. A lot of people leave their cigars like lit and then they leave them behind.
Take a puff.
Kudos to our one of our prop artists, Luca Cave, who made these armor sets, which look really amazing. I love them. Like the moment they were added to the game, I was like, that's so cool. This area, by the way, this stairway,
Don't get me started.
was also like until like I think halfway block D. So that's like the end of the year. Post-production.
Last eighth of the project.
Yes, it was just me. I used stairways from the garden, and I used placeholder textures, and that was the only light source. It looked awful. And then finally, I think Dylan again jumped in and fixed this for me, and man, has it paid off. Oh, look at that guy.
No, we almost cut a rooftop.
Ooh. And almost cut the rooftop, yeah. Oh, why am I doing this? Please don't. Come on, Adam. Oh, come on, don't get over here. Oh. Ah, shh. Oh, what am I doing? This is a dead end. Oh, quickly get on the table.
Pick up it.
Wait, on the table. He doesn't see me. Oh, shit, he sees me. Oh.
Did you trigger a checkpoint?
Let's just wait and see what happens here. Oh, let's not. Let's actually just go back to our like grabbing the. Wait, you didn't see that. All right, let's use the goggles.
Perfect execution.
Perfect. Oh, yes, this is a prominent bug that we encounter. It's the Annie, are you okay bug, I would like to call it. Because we don't know what happens here, but yeah.
Just accept it.
Just accept it. Just deal with it.
Go for flow.
Go with the flow, exactly. That's our motto. Camera there.
Must have been my imagination.
Oh, must have been his imagination. Eh? Oh, okay. A lot of players don't know this, but there's actually a collectible
Must be
here.
the artifact. But how do I get down there?
How do I get down there, Ronnie? Help! How do I get down there?
Use the scaffolding.
Of course.
From a tech artist, it was so much work to implement after all.
What's that?
Hey, there's an actual animation for throwing the noisemaker? That's so cool. Oh, he doesn't give a single frick about the noisemaker.
Yeah, he has already seen you. He wants to investigate your last
Oh.
position.
My game's stuck. Did it crash? I think it crashed. Are you still with me? Yeah.
I'm super here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it froze. Oh boy. What happened here? Uh-oh. I think I gotta restart. Technical
Well,
difficulties.
Time to see the Bob super speed run.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do the super
Lead
speed.
designer super speed run.
Oh man, I got
Let's switch to the GDQ channel.
no, don't close OBS. Yeah, it's stuck. All right, let's try this again, shall we? Let's open up Steam. Sorry for the technical difficulties, people. Do you see the game, or do I need to reopen in OBS? Oh no, I believe you can see it, right?
I cannot see the game. Oh wait, no, I can see it. I can see it. Yep, everything's perfect.
Oh,
Start your speed run.
it says broadcast ended. Uh-oh.
No, it's still
No, I
at
believe it's...
least on Twitch. At least on Twitch, it's still there.
Yeah, is it still there?
Oh, it's gone on Steam. It's gone on Steam.
Let's see. There's a serious error. Oh, no, it's still there on Twitch, I believe. Yeah.
It's still on Twitch. It's still on Twitch.
For some reason.
Can we get it back on Steam? Oh yeah, because the game closed, of course,
Yeah.
course. So
Hussein needs to help out with this because I don't know how to fix this. Do we need to?
we need our goddamn Savior Hussein. He's the producer of the entire live streaming thing, basically.
Let's see. Store page.
But he will come. I pray.
Oh,
I pray.
I believe it's back up. It's back up again.
Is it?
Are we back? Yeah, we're back.
Ah, we're super back.
Awesome,
Hell yeah.
awesome. All right. Let's.
This is gonna be so good right now, guys. I'm sure Bob is feeling it.
Speedrun, baby. Hold any key to skip. There we go.
HQ told
So now I can
me
see
to
the
close
whole different way to play the game.
I should probably
This is the debug way of playing the game, basically.
I should keep that in mind.
Bob, our trick to on purpose crash the game has took fruition. So we can show off a speed run of our great speedrun community.
Sleep tight.
Sleep tight, man. All right, here we go, guys.
All right. Stealthy as a cat.
Stealthy, man. Super stealth.
Super stealth.
I don't think
And they have no clue where I am.
hiding in the
Perfect
I'm feeling the
execution.
stealth.
Now they're all on alert. That's a little bit of a bummer, though. Or they're
You
not.
see,
No.
they're alerted to walk. They're super alerted,
So alerted.
but not anymore. Must have been the wind.
Must have been the wind. That was not very smart. Hey, Adam. Oh! Ooh!
That way we're calling the guard Atam because his face was scanned for the guards, his and Hussein's face. Basically, the level designer and narrative designer. So we're often calling him Atam.
Adam and Hussein.
Atam and Hussein. I don't. From here, I think you can start crouching again.
This is always the difficult part because now I have to go through your garden, and that's super difficult at this stage in the game.
Especially without the gadgets. You didn't collect the gadgets.
No, I didn't. Oh, and there's a guard there. Oh, I'm so screwed. I'm so screwed.
Lead designer speedrun.
Ah! Oh, yeah, I triggered a checkpoint, of course. Hey.
The Dark Souls of stealth games, by the way.
Attention! Attention all guards!
What did you just say about not intelligent AI? They just cornered you.
Yes, exactly.
Ambush. They're too smart for you.
I'm just too dumb for them. It was this guy, like Adham in the artist room. That one always. And I placed him there. Like, that's my design that I'm tripping over. That's... Here, this... He comes on.
Good. You have created Frankenstein. Now you're getting killed by him.
Yes.
I think you can, if you try to get the noisemaker and then go to the exit point, I think then it will be easier.
I just want to point out, I believe we have 170 viewers on Steam. Woo!
Yeah, that is, like, at least one is my mom, so that's nice.
that doesn't count. Alright, 169 viewers.
160, yeah, okay.
Okay, now I get to your garden without the goggles. That's gonna be...
To get the noisemaker.
Yeah, I can get the noisemaker. Indeed, it's a good one.
Noisemaker, yeah.
The nice maker, I like to call it.
Get out of here.
Get out of here! Oh, that guy is still looking for me.
And he hears everything.
Usually I go through the hedgeway, but now I think it's safer to go this way and then just use the noisemaker here. Let me see. Just throw it over there.
What's that noise?
Yeah, what is that noise? Go check it out.
It's coming from over there.
Yeah, it's coming from over there. Go.
Ooh, you're one of the very few people that chooses this route. Like, most people go
Ooh,
through the
okay.
hedge maze.
Ah! Quick,
This is very, very dangerous.
I got it, Ronnie.
You
Calculated.
got it. Yep.
Calculated aggression bonus.
Yeah.
Playstyle bonus,
Calculated
none. 225 seconds. That's probably not right. Oh man. Whew. What a run. What a run. Total completion 4%. Hell yeah. Shall we do... Oh, wait. First, let's check the news article here. This face being one of the remarkably high value, though the exact number has not been shared with the press. The guards and the owners say to have been overwhelmed by the inventiveness and unique approach the perpetrators took. So, fun fact.
The inventiveness. Have you seen that last section, the last couple of seconds? That was very inventive, if you ask me.
Very inventive. Fun fact. This news article, I believe, changes according to your playstyle.
Let's hope it does.
Let's hope it does. Let's not make any false promises here. GG, well played.
One of our
Thank you.
speedrunners in our community says it's Tyrix Gaming says that was so slow.
Yes, obviously.
Good job.
I mean, Tyrix is one of our top speedrunners, I believe. At the
Oh yeah, definitely. Very dedicated.
So yeah, of course I'm not faster than him or her. I don't know. Let me see. It's 6 o'clock. I'm up for another run. Are you?
Sure, whatever you like. Maybe this time you can actually sneak through the game.
Yeah, let's see. Without crashing it. How does it say 392? I had 2,000 points. Oh man, it just only remembers your last score.
This time I think we can go through the courtyard once we are get a first decision point
Yeah.
for route. Okay, Bob, I wanna see A plus stealth gameplay here.
Yep.
As an escape route. I should keep that in mind.
Also to our tech designers and programmers watching, I will try to avoid edge cases.
Oh yeah. I'm losing a few moves.
And down you go.
Oh yeah, we can take the other exit point this time.
Oh, there's a secret tactic here. Let me see if I can do it. I'm probably too far away. Probably too far away. Oh! There is a way that you can quickly go with him through that gate. Which is,
I did not know there was a thing, but
speed
that's
running
pretty
tactic.
amazing.
Tyrex
That is
probably
absolutely amazing.
Tyrex probably knows about this, and he uses this to get his records.
And if you didn't, free tip, free developer tip.
Free developer tip right there. It is quite hard though. It took our art lead, I believe, 100 tries to do it. Sorry, Daniel. Sorry, Daniel.
But he's an artist, so you know.
Yeah, you know. Oh wait, we're gonna go.
So he's pretty
stealth.
good. So he's pretty good. You shouldn't underestimate him.
Don't underestimate Dan, especially Daniel. Like, man, this dude can do so many things. Like, he was not only an animator and the art lead, but he also did environment art.
Oh yeah, he was like I talked about. The one environment artist came up with a greenhouse idea, and that was Daniel. Actually, the animator, right? But it was really cool.
Yeah.
Eventually, the area was beautified by Dylan and Johan, but he came up with the initial idea and the initial block out.
Bob, you must master the way of the gate before you succeed. Yes, yes, absolutely.
All right.
I really love this moment. Like, it really feels powerful walking over this garden. Like, what is it? Like stone thing, stone.
Mhm.
Verticality makes you feel like powerful, and it's just cool to be on top of this. Larger,
Absolutely.
Well done to Hussein.
Still remember that Atama, our native and AI designer, also specifically adjusted the vision cones of the AI to fit this specific moment, so that they cap at a specific height.
God,
Uh,
I'm winning the lottery tomorrow.
So that is nice.
Shall I disable this camera? No, I don't think I have to. No, I can go past
It
it.
depends on how good you are.
Look how good I am.
I don't think they will be able to see me hiding under the tables or in the vents.
All right, I'll do that then.
I had some playtests, by the way. I designed this vent, right? And some playtesters at the beginning, they like went into this room, didn't find the vent, and went back into the garden, right? So with a lighting artist, they like we discussed a lot on how to correctly place lights to guide the player into this goddamn vent.
Yeah, I remember, like, at first you had the vent on that side of the room, and I was doing my classic speedrunning thing to quickly debug something, and I ran into that wall, like noticing, like, wait, where's the vent? And you moved it to the other wall, so that was
Can you go through the front garden actually?
sure.
Oh wait. Oh, whatever. Go ahead. Just go whatever way you want. It doesn't matter.
I'm going.
Because then we can basically see the how you can play through the same area in a different way, right?
Oh yes, yes, definitely.
At some point, those two guards had a dialogue with text-to-speech. That was
Yes.
glorious.
Yes, fun fact.
I made them talk about. I gave them a quote from Dune, the novel, about the cosmos and the universe. I had fun.
Yeah, fun fact about the release of the game. The day of release, until the day of release, we had text-to-speech voice acting, so to speak. So all the guards
Last
and the
minute
main character,
implementation. Hell yeah.
yeah, all the guards and the main character, they spoke in this computer way. We didn't have actual voice acting. I absolutely cucked myself here. What have I done?
Go through the maze. Go through the maze.
But then I will be absolutely cucked if
I know. I want to see you fail, Bob. You know that.
I'm a pro gamer.
Well, the speedrunner in our community, Tyrix, said he spent 12 hours of speedrunning our game. And he said it's not a waste of time.
Wow.
Yay!
Wow.
What a hero.
Shout out to Tyrix. Nice.
I'm happy if our players enjoy a game like that.
Yes. Alright, quickly grab this noisemaker here.
And then go to the rooftop. This is
Look
our
at that.
newest invention.
Look at those effects. Nice particles.
Oh yeah, the flies. Our environment art lead, he was so proud of the flies.
That's the only...
and I'm pretty sure the flies were made by the same person that made the scaffolding tool, also by Tech Art.
For those wondering, why we put like white paint all over like the place, like I think Peter, one of the designers / art teachers, put it this way: it's like, why does it look like a pigeon has carpet bombed the shit out of your out of these wooden panels? The reason for that is, like, you see it in games like Lara Croft and Uncharted as well, and God of War, is to have like this affordance, we call it, so the player knows, oh, that's a vault, that's something I can vault over, or to just simply guide the player to that specific part and basically convey that's something interactable.
Yep, absolutely. We also put some anti-affordance, how we call it, at places where you definitely can't vault. You can see that with ivy at all the hand railings where you can't vault over. So we have like a super thick layer of ivy there, so the player knows I definitely can't vault over here. Or sometimes we also just put props on there, like vases and stuff like that, right? Or flower pots. Come on, Bob. This is the section that you designed, right? Your precious rooftop baby.
My precious rooftop baby that we kept alive.
We kept alive. Barely.
The X-Specs. These babies.
The X-Specs.
The X-Specs. These babies are one of our latest creations. The X-Specs allow you to see security personnel. Hell yeah, that's what I need. I'm a thief. I need to know this stuff.
And they're certain to never crash your game.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to use the noisemaker here. It's coming from over there. Come on, check it out. Why are you not moving? Oh. Oh, well.
Always just one guard is moving.
Well.
They're smart, Bob.
I guess you
Didn't
have
you
to
read the
die.
project brief?
I guess you have to die then.
Yes.
Your friend's dead.
Didn't we have other ideas for the shock glove, like initially? Like it wasn't always shock glove, right?
Yeah, you could, like that ties into the crafting system that we had. You could combine certain things that you could find around the map with your shock glove. Oh, so, yeah, what was that? It was me. No, I believe, maybe Adam could elaborate on this, but I believe there was like different upgrades you could put on it to increase the range or increase the time the guard was paralyzed. Oof, sneaky boy. You see this? Bam.
Goddamn, you're so
Damn.
good.
So sneaky. No. Wait, is there something here? Yes, there is. Rewarding exploration.
I really like how you can see over the entire back garden here. You can even see
Yes.
the guards walk and everything.
Yes. So Hussein was in charge of the design of the garden here, and I think mostly Theodore, one of our environment artists, did most of the set dressing art and that sort of stuff in the.
And the huge mountain in the background, that was Daniel, the animator.
Yes, yes, and it's actually quite a nice technique that he used. He basically used a picture and put that on a plane and shape that plane into the shape of a mountain. And it's a cheap trick, but it works really well. So that's really nice.
Yes, yes.
All right, now let's fully disable these cameras. Let's go for like full stealth. So this one first.
I can still remember that the level designer of this area said that he wanted to almost have a Lara Croftian vibe to this area, so that you could kind of have to solve a small puzzle before hell breaks down and you're getting chased and everything. So a slight calm before the storm, you could say.
Whee! All right, let's go, baby. Oh no!
Attention! Attention all guards!
Give a boss voice.
A sign of alarm
That's
has been triggered for one of the artifacts.
Jason.
There's a thief in my home.
Jason from Heavy Rain.
Jason from Heavy Rain, yeah.
Search and capture the thief. Return to me my priceless heirloom.
Alright. Now watch out for this dude here. Okay, he's coming. Yeah. Checking out if he sees someone there. Oh,
Oh.
I believe there's someone over there. Why is my game suddenly so laggy? That was not a good idea. And it was not a good idea of me to go here.
Oh no no no! Oh my God, Bob,
Oh.
you're deathless so far. So I want to see a deathless run.
It's gonna happen, baby, don't worry. Yes, yes. Okay, okay, okay. I'm fine, I'm safe. I'm gonna go this way. So I think I'm gonna go for the exit in the garden.
They're both gardens, but
Okay,
a back
The
garden.
back garden, yes.
Absolutely.
Oh wait, I have the gadgets, of course. Alright, so
One person in chat says, as Dylan once said, I love how they are all walking super angry.
Yeah, yeah, they have some real anger issues.
We actually did mocap for this game, right?
Yeah, man.
Actually, Bob, you did a lot of that, right? Did you do the angry walk?
All the guard animations, most of the guard animations, that's my motion capture, yeah.
Nice. So angry walk, you can always thank Bob.
I'm so good at angry walks.
Yeah, this is his specialty. We call him Bob the Angry Walk.
For some reason, the Noisemaker won't trigger. I don't know why. I'll throw it. Right. I cannot get rid of this parabola. Oh well.
Really? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I cannot get rid of it. Ooh. So we still have post-launch support, and I will quickly run, baby.
We still have post-launch support for at least one day, so we're probably gonna fix it.
Ooh.
Oh my god! You're a stealth game master. You know that? Holy! This is how you end every level.
Yes, perfect. Look at this. Bam, baby.
Perfect execution.
Again, calculated. I'm just a calculated man.
Calculated.
Bob, angry walk for oof. Nice. Oh, the alarm is still going off. Nice. Yeah, I didn't collect a lot of loot, sadly. Alright. So this is like a conclusion to the game. Awesome. Alright. If there's any more questions, if not, then I think this is a good point to have a conclusion and say goodbye. Or do
Yeah,
you wanna,
except
do you wanna,
if there are, are there any questions in chat, or should we just call it a day?
When does part 2 come out? Good question.
When I'm dead. Okay.
Well,
No, probably never. Except if we all fail the year, then then maybe we make a part 2.
if we all fail the year and then do it again, yeah. Project Exhibited to Electric Boogaloo. I like that. Let's do that. Yeah, please, as the Nightbot says, please join our community Discord for more information on maybe Project Exhibited 2. No, I don't want to give false hope. Basically, there will be probably post-launch support for maybe 1 more week. We need time for our evidence because we're still study. So we hope that most of the bugs that you just saw and most of the bugs you encountered will be fixed. To have as smooth as possible play experience, but don't expect any new content or any new missions or like sadly this one mission is our game and we're just trying to polish this one thing.
Yep.
So yeah.
But if you want to help us, please join our Discord and report some bugs. We can really use that to polish like the last bit of the game, right? To make it just feel right. Because if we have like 100 eyes on it instead of just 5 from our team, then of course we get way better data and can make sure that we can fix as much as possible in the last week.
Yeah. Hussein Aslan says in the chat, like most bugs are already fixed for the next patch. So there's already a new patch update coming out very soon TM, to improve your play experience. So if you have the question, how do I join the Discord, or how do I report bugs? You have these nice 2 buttons here in the main menu. It will lead you to where you want to be. All right. If you don't want to add anything else, Ronnie, I think we can close off the stream.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was a really nice run from you, Bob.
Thank you,
You
man.
did well at the design lead.
Thank you. Awesome.
And yeah.
Oh yeah, one thing I still want to say is like I had an absolutely amazing time, and I want to thank everybody on the team for this amazing project. I had an amazing time. I think it's a brilliant study project with we did a lot of stuff. There's a lot of systems in there. It's a big scope, and we managed to achieve most of it.
Yeah, it was really insane for a school project. So yeah, the team really worked off their asses to get it to where it is, and we really appreciate that.
All right, I think that's it. See everyone hopefully soon, or maybe we'll see you in the Steam leaderboards. Who knows? All right. I'm gonna close.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
See you around.
Bye bye.